Hi everyone, happy reInvent. Thank you for coming. Welcome to our lightning session. Now this is a lightning session. That means it's 20 minutes, we don't have a lot of time. So we're gonna ask that we hold questions to the end. Chris and I are gonna hang out after this session. So I'm Vina, I'm a senior solutions architect on the nonprofit team here at AWS, and I have the pleasure of working with Chris. And I'll let you introduce yourself, Chris.
Hi everybody. I'm Chris Tickner, Chief Transformation Officer with United Way of Orange County. Like any Las Vegas act, I know we're in Las Vegas, I'm the last lounge singer before we close shop. So I'll try to entertain you as much as I can before you head out on your plane or out to replay tonight. In case you don't know, United Way is one of the largest nonprofits in the world. We're over 100 years old. We coordinate and convene government, nonprofits, philanthropists, and healthcare to solve some of society's biggest challenges in our respective communities. Over 50% of United Ways operate their local 211, which is at the heart of this session. I'll explain exactly what a 211 is in just a moment. I'm excited to share with you this incredible journey that Orange County United Way has been on with 211OC, and it's all been enabled by Amazon Connect. The agenda for this session, I'll start out talking about the state of things, the state of the social safety net, as well as to talk about what a 211 is. Then I'll talk a little bit about the solution that we deployed leveraging Amazon Connect, and then finish out with the results, and then what the future holds for a connected social safety net. And then if we have time, either I'll answer some questions here or over on the side. So first, the state of things. When you think of Orange County, you might get visions of affluence. Maybe it's a late 90s sitcom, maybe it's some housewives or some kids that live on a beach in Laguna. But the reality is we have tremendous challenges that our community face, that every community faces around the nation. Orange County United Way touches nearly a third of our population with the varying programs and services that we run. Our Medicare program has over 1 million members, which in a total population of just 3.5 million. So a third of our population is actually on Medicare. We have about 7,322 individuals that are facing homelessness, by far one of the biggest issues that impacts California, specifically in Orange County. And 48% of those homeless are homeless for the first time in just the past 12 months. Switching tracks just a little bit, so what is a 211? So each community has an FCC-controlled 3-digit numbers. Everyone knows about 911 for emergency services, some know about 988 for behavioral health, 411 for information services, but few know about 211. And 211 is actually a social services directory and also information about social services within each respective community. In July of 2023, we acquired our local 211, which had a great foundation and network of care, but was really in a challenging spot both operationally and with funding. So why did we acquire them? Well, multiple reasons, but a huge one is the opportunity around creating better care coordination for the individuals that we serve, which today is a complex web that is a burden on the individuals in need. And that is highlighted in this picture. So this is the wow slide that I got from a sister United Way in Rochester, New York. What this maps out is a complex web of federally available social services that are afforded to any one individual in this United States. Someone who is in crisis is actually expected to navigate this complex web. What's represented here is millions of dollars and hundreds of programs and thousands of service providers that are disconnected and independent and fractured. And at the local level, in Orange County, individuals are expected to navigate a similar complex web of care. And 211, in most cases, is the operation that helps individuals navigate this complex web. Our 211 handles over 1,100 different service providers running over 3,000 programs. So the navigation and the matching is definitely a difficult operation. Obviously, from this picture, the social services ecosystem is fractured and disconnected. I mentioned that, but most service providers are constrained in their resources and IT tools and data management and security to help try to bridge these gaps. So 211 and its call center, in many cases, are the only choices for a person in crisis to navigate this complex web. And the call center that's behind it needs the tools to help facilitate this with care, compliance, and efficiency. Moving to the solution that we deployed. So when we acquired 211, we obviously wanted to level up the experience for everyone. And there was a number of things that we picked out on how to improve the operations, but one of the big things was the telephonic services. The incumbent solution that we had maxed out all the features, weren't getting as much utility out of it, and had us looking at a couple different places. And what we found was a strong interest in Amazon Connect. So in Amazon Connect, we launched that in August to our organization to solve many of the coordination challenges and provide better curated care. Amazon Connect has many features that we were lacking, like omni-channel experiences, feature-rich productivity and enhancement, and deep insights. 211 solves big issues, but how can 211 operate big ways with small staff and resources? And so let's dive a little bit deeper on how we did that. First, let me explain what Amazon Connect is. Amazon Connect is a cloud-based contact center that includes a fully managed global telephony network, so agents can begin handling calls with features that ensure the best in care coordination. It also has intuitive graphical user interface that does not require any coding to set up. It can deliver conversational interactions that a person can use natural AWS proven speech recognition and natural language understanding technology. Artificial intelligence and machine learning is built into every interaction, which I'll explain in a little bit in how we use contact lens and forecasting. And Connect gives us a lot of insight into the performance so we can keep iterating and improving the client and the agent experience. And while we have fewer than 20 agents right now, we could scale to tens of thousands of agents and continue to pay as we go. So scaling is never an issue for us. So there's three main issues that we ran into and discovered when we're looking at acquiring 211 that we wanted to solve with Connect. The first one is around our reporting, which only provided operational metrics and with no details into resident sentiment, agent productivity drivers, or conversational insights. The solution that we took advantage of in Amazon Connect to solve this was called Contact Lens. Note that we're already seeing a 10% improvement over our benchmark. Contact Lens is a set of machine learning capabilities that enables a business to analyze conversations. Contact Lens is a win-win-win for our clients, our 211 agents, and our supervisors. With Contact Lens, we can take recordings and transcriptions a huge step further by analyzing the sentiment of an interaction, pulling out common themes and trends. For example, if a new vaccine was released into the community, we can see the trends and patterns around that vaccine, which is a tremendous data insight for stakeholders in our community. It'll automatically generate summaries of every call to cut down on those after contact work of our agents and highlight any action items for the agent to follow up on. It can automatically redact any sensitive PII to ensure privacy and compliance. Obviously, that's a big concern for our organization. We can create rules to flag for signs of critical client needs that an agent may not be able to handle on their own. This automatically alerts one of our supervisors in real time when they need to assist an agent on a live contact, so they can provide guidance through chat or through the transferring of a call or an escalation of that call. Here's an example of what it might look like. We can see this in real time or post-contact. We can see auto-generated summaries of the contact based on the transcript. We can also see sentiment on the call, hopefully becoming more positive after the agent works with the client. The call time is broken down, including long silences and interruptions. We can also see the transcript with highlighted icons for any issues and action items. The second problem that we were experiencing was the lack of forecasting and scheduling, and the lack of those tools that help us to facilitate that. which led to higher wait times, lower customer experience, and a lack of capacity planning. The issue, this issue was revealed and accelerated by the fact that all scheduling that we were doing was all manual. With a pool of about 22 logged in agents, if call volumes spiked up 20% higher than what was predicted, our service levels dropped from 85% down to 30%, which is a tremendous hit to our operation. The solution that we took advantage of in Amazon Connect was Amazon Connect's forecasting and scheduling, which is an AI ML powered tool that optimizes agent schedules, forecasts call volumes, and provides capacity planning for long-term hiring needs. The outcome for us was shorter wait times, reduced labor loads, more accurate agent hiring practices, and improved customer and agent experience. Here's an example of a forecast dashboard. Now, we weren't able to get an anonymized version, so this is more generic, but still true to how we operate. What Amazon Connect gives us is a set of analytics and optimization capabilities that help us predict contact volumes using machine learning. This determines how many agents we'll need to have hired, trained, and staffed based on forecasted contacts or capacity planning. It also assigns daily shifts to a minimum number of agents to meet their business goals. Contact will indicate what time of day during that an agent should be handling client contacts, do trainings, maybe taking their breaks, etc. In other words, doing all the scheduling for that rep. Lastly, it ensures agents are performing their duties as scheduled or schedule adherence, and all of this is done through one interface. The last, or the third and last problem that we saw that we needed to solve with our contact center was the manual quality assessment process in place made it difficult to assess and improve call center specialists' effectiveness and the quality of our customer and agent experiences. The solution Contact provides us was the access and use of agent performance evaluation forms that utilize machine learning powered conversational analytics to score and provide a comprehensive view of all call center specialist performance. These are customizable by contact center managers. Connect automated the scoring for over 100% of our calls. Now 211 can perform manual evaluations at any time. Connect also allows us the streaming of the evaluation data to enable enhanced analytics. Finally, it allows us to monitor adherence to processes and our own quality assurance standards. The outcome for us already is an improved call center specialist productivity and customer experience. We reduce the supervisor time spent on coaching and evaluating agents, and then once again, we're seeing a 10% improvement over our operational benchmarks. Here's an example of what the evaluation form could look like. On the left, you're seeing some questions that are automatically filled out by the data collected by Contact Lens. And then on the right, you can see questions that will score on an agent based on the number of times they've interrupted a customer. This is also automatically completed by Connect. This level of automation means that that we can review 211 calls on a holistic level, and we can truly review 100% of our calls, which we would never have been able to do before. Here's an example of the evaluation forms that you could look like. The simplest explanation of how we run 211 is this. So 211 client calls, a 211 client calls or use of our web chat to get a hold of our 211 agents. Connect runs our call center, and 211 agent answers the call through an embedded Connect control panel within Salesforce. This way, they don't have to have multiple windows up to answer a call and get information in and out of our system. Let's dive in a little bit deeper to see what's actually going on. As soon as people dial 211, they'll hear a voice coming from an Amazon Polly, the text-to-speech platform to guide them through the initial questions and help route them through the correct agent. If they are coming in through a chat, Amazon Lex, the AI conversational chat service, will also do the same type of intake. If we're not able to answer this immediately, we do allow for people to leave voicemails. Voicemails are streamed through Kinesis video streams, then transcribed through Amazon Transcribe, and then those transcriptions, among some of the other things, are stored in DynamoDB NoSQL database. Then those transcripts, along with voicemail recordings, are emailed using Amazon SES to our 211 agents to coordinate responses. As you can imagine, we're getting a lot of data out of this. Call recordings, agent screen recordings, chat transcriptions, attachments, agent evaluation forms, and reports are all going into Amazon S3. For simplicity's sake, we've shown this as one bucket. For compliance and long-term storage, we transition some of this data into S3's much cheaper Glacier storage tiers. And in our historical reporting, to be able to understand trends and hotspots in an intuitive visual way, we use Amazon QuickSight. I do want to call out that this is a simplified version of the diagram and does not include every single service that we use. For example, we're making heavy use of AWS Lambda functions, which help orchestrate all the functions and stitch together these different services. I also want to note that the architecture is 100% serverless, meaning we're only paying for what we use. No need to pre-provision or any resources or predict any utilization. When you're running a call center like us with a nonprofit, obviously we see surges and spikes, whether the weather changes or maybe there's a disaster. So we're always very sensitive to any sort of spikes in traffic. So this is a major benefit to us. So the final result. So remember that spaghetti mess of social services and how it was before. This is where we're at today. This is now the journey a client goes through as we take them through from crisis to happy, healthy, and housed. Using Amazon Connect, our 211 call center specialists can better assist in navigating this journey for an individual through more efficient, coordinated care. Here, you have an individual that's calling into 211 OC and entering in through a virtual front door in Amazon Connect. They are quickly picked up and assessed by a call center specialist that has care information at their fingertips. They are referred to service provider 1, who treats this individual's food assistance needs. The call is managed and assessed by a 211 OC supervisor to ensure the best service and referral was presented to the individual. A few days later, the individual calls back with a need around housing. They are connected to a call center specialist. The call center specialist quickly picks up, recognizes the individual through viewable histories, and then matches them up to service provider 2 that handles both food and housing needs. The whole journey now is mapped and measured to ensure the best outcomes are achieved and the individual and the community stakeholders are all taken care of. I do want to point out that we have in this, some of the other architecture that's part of this is, so I mentioned before AWS Connect as a virtual front door. This is also integrated with our Salesforce CRM solution, which I also mentioned. The Salesforce referral data is connected using AWS Managed Apache Airflow to a Postgres data warehouse that does the ETL work, and then we send that referral recipient off to a system, to the targeted system that we want to send it to. These are for other service providers that run systems that need to be integrated. We can map this all out and visualize this all through QuickSight analytics to really measure trends and patterns and get a pulse of the health of our whole ecosystem of care. This is being enabled by, there's a state initiative in California called the Data Exchange Framework. We're using the same methodology of exchanging data with 9 other United Ways to accommodate the state standard to increase better outcomes across this state, and then even maybe more. So there's a lot of potential with replicating the solution. Some of the biggest benefits that we're adding for stakeholders is obviously the visualization of the data and the dashboards. Some of the insights that we have are looking at to leverage Amazon Connect and the call center performance that is also layered to include such things as referral outcomes, reasons for receiving service, top direct, non-direct referrals, and program enrollments by service name. This will paint a more accurate picture of the health of our ecosystem of care. That wraps it up for me. I'd like to thank you all for being here today. If you have any more questions about this architecture, about 211 or United Way, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you have any questions about Amazon Connect, please reach out to your account manager or also reach out to the AWS nonprofit team to get more details on that. I think there's a couple QR codes that are available for you guys. I don't think there's many more sessions after this one, but if there is one, you'll probably find it here. Thanks, everybody.